Hi guys, I'm Shannon. I'm with Toronto GTA Singles. I host events for different ages and demographic groups in Toronto and the GTA area. There's also a matchmaking project being run for people who are ages 50 plus or open to dating that age. Send a message if you want more information about the project. Now, with today's video, I wanted to give you some tips. These are merely suggestions, but these tips have been collected as a result of hosting several events and also working with matchmaking database members. First topic is exes. This is a controversial one. Do you really want to bring up your ex on a first date or even a second date? Probably not a good idea, especially if you decide to trash talk your ex. It paints you in a negative light. But on the flip side, if you decide to talk positively about your ex, so much to the extent that it makes the person who's sitting in front of you feel jealous, probably not a good idea either. The point is that if you continue to date this person, eventually they will find out information. Eventually, you get to share information about your ex or exes, and things are going to come to the light. It's not necessary right now. I suggest for a first date, keeping things light, positive, fun. Choose an activity where you can have fun together. Also, something to consider, I heard that men bond differently than women. Men bond when they're sitting or they're positioned side by side with another person, whereas women bond when they're in front of each other. So, why not try to incorporate both of these elements in a first date? Here's an idea: go for a walk, grab a drink, grab a coffee, whatever, walk and talk, and then find a bench, sit down, have a chat. I also am an advocate for short dates and dates that do not require a lot of planning, a lot of mm, worry about who's splitting the bill. So why not just go for a walk? Not in a secluded park, but in an open area or even on the streets where there is stuff going on. There may be a festival happening, musical performance, something like that. Anyways, the next topic, this is a big one, guys: trauma. I've heard of so many times people have been on dates and the person sitting in front of them has dumped all of their childhood trauma onto them. It's just not appropriate, guys. There's other outlets for this. Now, a lot of people still walk around with unhealed trauma. I totally get it. But there are licensed professionals that can deal with that. You can talk to a pastor, imam, whoever, a community elder, a trusted family member, or a friend. It's not appropriate to be divulging all of your trauma onto the person who you're on a date with. Eventually, they will find out this information, but again, keep it light, keep it fun for the first date. Complaints. Of course, when you're being authentic, it's natural to complain about things like the weather, for example, or oh, it took so long to get here. Oh, there was so much traffic. Okay, that's understandable, but keep it light again. Heavy complaining about heavy topics can bring down the energy of the date, and you want to avoid this. I wanted to mention something. There's been a lot of talk about neurodiversity recently, and people have been on dates with individuals who self identify as neurodiverse, whether it's ADHD, mild forms of autism, and so on. People who are neurodiverse can sometimes misread social cues and also may say things, may be more honest than other people and just comment on certain things, say certain things that may be seen as offensive. Just keep in mind that the individual that you're on a date with may be neurodiverse, and refrain from jumping to conclusions or judgments about this person right away. Just wait it out and see what happens, because I've heard of this happening quite a few times where the person decides, no, this is not a person for me. I'm not doing a second date. I'm ghosting the person. But I'm encouraging you to just be a little bit more patient and understanding and consider that there may be other possibilities in terms of this person's neurodiversity. Now, another topic that I don't recommend discussing is financial questions, financial situations. Of course, this is a very important topic. I don't doubt that. You want to know this person's financial situation, but here's the thing. Even if you do ask on the first date, you probably won't get an honest answer. And keep in mind that the job that this individual has does not represent their financial situation. There are plenty of people who have jobs which pay very good salaries, but they have hidden habits, hidden addictions, whether it's drugs, shopping, gambling, seeking prostitutes, whatever. I just don't recommend talking about it. Everything will come to light eventually, so it's better to just keep things light and positive for the first date. However, there are some topics that are related to your value systems which you may want to talk about on the first dates, which I actually do advocate for, that are quite heavy, like politics, religion. Why are these a good idea to talk about, in my opinion? Because they're related to values. More importantly, these days than ever, I believe politics is oftentimes a deal breaker for people. If someone is on like an extreme spectrum, for example, politically, leftist, right, that's probably an important thing to discuss because it's related to values. If you're not open to certain ideas that the other person's open to, you want to find this out sooner than later, especially later on in life where people are trying to hurry up and have children. They don't want to be wasting time. So I do think it's a good idea. In line with that is religion. Some people say, "Oh, don't have any conversation about religion. It's taboo, not for the first date." No, I disagree. Because if religion is very important to you, then you want to make sure you find somebody who it's equally important to as well. During one of my Christian events I've hosted, I've had people on opposite ends of the spectrum who both identify as Christians, but one person is actively church going, reads the Bible. The other person simply was born with a Christian background because they're from a Christian country, but they're not an active Christian. And they tolerate the other person's religiosity, but for that person, it's not enough to be tolerated. They want somebody who actively is going to church with them. So this is very important to discuss. Try to keep the dates focused on fun things, but also conversation that can determine that person's values, whether they're aligned with yours or not. Another thing, because I've worked with people who are in their 50s, 60s, and so on, I've noticed something. Some of those individuals are very busy. They're starting a new business. They have kids in university still. They're working full time jobs still. They have a lot of commitments and they don't have a lot of free time. Whereas other people who are in that age range, 50s and up, are transitioning to retirement, may also be retired actually at this point, have a lot more free time, are looking for somebody who can travel a lot, travel for the whole winter with them. So you want to find out, hey, how much free time do I expect the other person to have, and how much am I able to give to the other person? These are just a few of my suggestions. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has been, please do me a favor, like and subscribe for more videos. And I wish you the best in your dating life, in love, and especially self love. Self love comes first. Have a great day, everyone.